Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the Station of Decapitation Without Your Head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, GoreCasters? Welcome back here to the GoreCast on Thursday night, as per usual, because it's myself, Buzz, Giz, and Carter for the group chat Thursdays. I'm drinking today, da 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 da. It's kind of coffee, da 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 da. It's kind of full of whiskey. That's perfect.
I'm not a picture.
I was actually.
Oh, dude.
I was actually considering Buzz has already given me his verdicts on the 3 movies. I was contemplating just leaving the disgruntled picture of Buzz on the screen because it seems like it's just as applicable as ever.
Buzz angry at movie choices.
Buzz no like Christmas movies. Buzz no like Christmas movies.
And that's going to be Buzz.
Yeah, prepare for this to be Buzz for pretty much the rest of the GoreCast festive season, as it would turn out. we were kind of like, if you didn't like this week's bunch of movies, you're definitely not going to like next Tuesday's. And come to think of it, you're probably not going to like the Tuesday after that either. Well, you're going to like one of them because it's Black Christmas, which is a fucking classic horror movie. Outside of it being a Christmas horror movie, it's a fucking classic in the first place. But there's 2 god-awful fucking sequels. Yeah, I'm not even... No. Today is a pleasurable Christmas because a little bit of it's Grindhouse. Admittedly, a little bit it's weird. And another bit of it's Billy when he's a killer Santa Claus, which is good stuff. Anyway, today on the lineup we have Christmas Evil from 1980. That's a movie. We have Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984, the kind of cult classic horror Christmas movie that I've seen so much I didn't even bother watching it. Because I won't lie to you, if there was a stage show of Silent Night, Deadly Night, and they were like, oh my god, or Billy died, I could probably fill in for Billy. I've seen it enough. And the last one, which somehow got under my nose for 9 fucking years, A Cadaver Christmas.
No shit.
Fucking ignore Buzz temporarily. It's not Buzz's style of horror movie, but if you like Grindhouse and you like it done well, this is fucking it.
Oh, I saw Giz kind of shrug it off.
Did you not like
dude.
A Cadaver Christmas?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was great. It was all right. And like you said, if you're into Grindhouse, you will love it. But if you're not, I can understand why Buzz is kind of like, why did you make me watch this? There were times when I thought it kind of got draggy, but there were other times then where it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
I love your impression of me. Why did you make me watch this? That's how it sounds. That's exactly what I was
It's
saying
uncanny
as I was
would be the
watching
words.
film. Yes.
I am good at what I do.
Anyway, we're
So
we-
overall, we've got
yes,
some
we do,
movies to
and we've
talk about
got
tonight.
we got Katie in the chat. Hello, Cinema Reaper. Hello, Sweet Rabbit, as is traditional.
Katie.
Run, Rabbit, run. Anyway, Carter. Hello, Buzz is there as well. Ready, set, game. How's it going, dude? How are you, Bree?
Bree.
How are you?
That's a she. Ready, set, game.
What did I say?
You said
I
dude.
called my
so-
fiance dude today.
I heard, how are you?
Oh, okay.
I was going to say that I'm just going to put out there. I call like
I-
everybody dude. So I'm
I-
sorry.
I'm a dude.
Yeah.
He's a dude.
Equal
Jeez.
opportunity.
Pretty much.
Wow, it's like your TV like danced into the shot there.
Oh, you're going to entertain you so fucking much tonight, dude.
Yeah, I'm an
Hey, you
equal
guys wanted me to
I'm an
drink.
equal opportunity dudist.
Whoa. Nobody said, oh, want Buzz to drink. Me and Johnny were like, hey, we are drinking. And you
I'm
were
not
like,
drinking.
fuck, I guess. I said
Yep.
me and Johnny, dude.
We've established.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out to Buzz. I'm not drinking.
Also, Courtney,
We were like,
hello.
oh,
Also, welcome to the
that's
chat.
all
Sorry,
good.
the dude conversation interrupted. I come from a school of thought called dudism, which I don't know if you've seen The Big Lebowski, but everybody's dude. As I said earlier, I'm an equal opportunity dudist. You're
Yeah.
a dude, that's dude, the cat's dude, dog dude, whatever.
We're all dudes. Hey.
I talked to myself, hey, dude, what are we going
I
to
watched the
don't know.
Turtles, and when the 90s rolled in, I was like, I don't give a fuck if the 90s are here. I'm still saying dude.
Yep.
Tripod is very wobbly.
That's it. As it's customary, we might as well start getting into movies now in a moment. But as is customary, we have news bits.
Oh. Yes, yes, we do.
Would you like me to tell me?
one
Would you
news
like to
bit-
tell me what news bit you'd like to start with, or would you like me to tell you what news bit I have lined up?
I have to tell Courtney, no, I am not okay.
He's not
Tell
okay.
you what,
He's not chemical romance. Fucking langers.
Oh.
Okay. I fucking hate them so much. Sorry. Oh, that first
So,
single
anyway,
they
which
did,
one are we
dude,
going with first?
he'd never have made it out of the fucking church in the music video if it was me, let alone fucking 5 albums afterwards. Anyway, moving on. What one would you like to do first? And if you could tell me which picture it is, that would be fucking dandy.
girl that looks like she's hanging off the side
Got
of the
it.
airplane.
Got it? Okay, so news bit 3, maybe. Yep, there we go.
Professionalism.
Okay, so Chloe Grace Moretz is apparently going to be starring in an upcoming film called Shadow in the Clouds. This film is set to be coming out on January 21st on VOD and video on demand, I think. Now, what got my attention, there we go. What got my attention was the fact that this is basically, it's about gremlins, kind
There's
of.
something
ish.
on the wing.
The
Something
notion that in
Say
on the
more.
wing.
Yes, exactly. Don't forget that gremlins are one of these urban things that came about, I think, primarily in World War II. They were putting like mechanical failure down to gremlins, things like
Yeah.
that. So that's a big thing in this. So apparently she is.
Sorry. Gremlins theme tune?
What?
And that's true.
Oh,
and that's true
sorry.
because you even saw that in the old Looney Tune cartoons.
Yes, exactly. In fact, they kind of do something like. I took a look at the trailer earlier, and they actually do cover that. In fact, it's kind of like
Oh,
an
no
instructional
shit.
video. It's an instructional video to the pilots, basically saying gremlins aren't real; these are mechanical issues. Blah 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 blah. blah. But it's based off of the fucking Bugs Bunny
I think
cartoon.
rule of thumb, once
But,
they say it's not
in
gremlins,
the
there's a
film-
very high possibility it's gremlins.
Fuck right.
Yeah, well, in the film, she is a B-17 pilot, so that's kind of a rarity on some super duper secret top mission, I think. So she has to put up with, being that and a male crew in the 1950s who are looking, going, "Why is there
Right.
a dame on our plane?" The fact that I think they get jumped by a Japanese air squadron in the middle of it, and the fact that there is some malevolent force apparently trying to rip the plane apart in the middle of the air and do other nasty things. So, like I said, I took a look at the trailer, and not going to lie, best case scenario, I think it's going to be one of these turn your brain off and enjoy it kind of films. Worst case scenario, I'm going to forget it ever happened.
Right.
And that sucks because I dig her. She's actually
this is Hit Girl, is
good
it?
actress, and
Yeah.
And she can pull off action. Like she's no slouch. What was that? Neighbors 2 with Seth Rogen and shit.
Oh yeah, where it's the bunch, it's the frat house from the first. Yeah, it's the frat house from the first movie, and there's a sorority house open up beside them, and they're mental. Is it? Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Sorry, good stoner movie.
No, it is. But I'm just saying, like that. Like she's got like different. She can do comedy. She can do action. Shit like that.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. I've liked her since Kick-Ass, so I'm willing to give her a go in anything. Even that Carrie movie.
Yep. Right.
She did a Carrie.
The what?
Yeah, she was in the remake.
Shit, that's
Carrie.
right.
Sorry, she didn't do a Carrie. She was Carrie. Just to clarify, just in case anyone thought she was like mental.
Really, I fucking blocked that one.
My mind went somewhere else.
Do I want to know?
Doing Carrie.
Evidently not.
Doing
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you.
Psychic hand jobs. That's the only benefit of that.
Anyway, on to the next news.
noise.
Yep. Which would be, let's hit the roulette wheel, please. It's a woman looking through a window, or possibly a mirror.
I guessed correctly again. Woohoo! Okay. CBS's upcoming TV show is set to take us back to 1993, as Clarice is set to be a sequel to the Silence of the Lambs film. Let's see. Set in 93, a year after the events of Silence of the Lambs, the series is a deep dive into the untold personal story of Clarice Starling as she returns to the field to pursue serial murderers and sexual predators while navigating the high-stakes political world of Washington, D.C.
Oh, so it's literally it's Clarice-centric. A little bit of Hannibal in there, maybe.
Yeah, it's her.
Right. That could be good.
Let's see. Described as being brilliant and vulnerable, Clarice graduated magna from UVA with a double major in psych and criminology. Her bravery gives her an inner light that draws monsters and madmen to her. Her complex psychological makeup comes from a challenging childhood, and her drive comes from her need to escape the burden of family secrets that have haunted her throughout her life. Let's see. It's Rebecca Breeds from Pretty Little Liars is set to star as Clarice Starling. The cast includes Michael Kuditz, Luca de Oliveira, Cal Penn, Nick Sando, Devin Tyler, and Martin Carpenter. There's a trailer up for it, and I think in the trailer, apparently, there's Buffalo Bill. So,
who's ready for a mangina in 2021? This guy.
Apparently,
everyone.
I don't know. I can't say I'm really on board with this one because, like, I don't know. Like, for some reason, Jodie Foster really made Silence of the Lambs for me.
Yeah,
and I don't know who anybody is.
But
Little Liars,
in the defense of it, I will say I was very apprehensive when I saw the Hannibal series coming out, and then that turned out to be a fucking hoot.
Okay, well, see, I've never seen that though, so I'm just basing off the movie when what's the boy's name? Dude.
Brad Pitt,
Fight Club, and
Edward Norton.
Brad Pitt.
No. Thank you.
Edward Norton was a Hulk and in Fight Club.
Yeah, but he was also, what was that? Silence of the Lambs,
Mindhunter.
but he took over for. Thank you. And so, I don't know, it takes a special. I don't know, I just didn't get that same vibe later on that I did with Silence of the Lambs.
Well, I suppose it's supposed to be a different tone. You know what I mean? It's just set in the universe.
Well, no, that's true. Hey, I just didn't find it as enjoyable as I did with the back and forth between Hopkins and her.
Look, that's one of those really well documented cinema on screen relationships where the dynamic between them is very hard to recreate. Do you know what I mean? And
I think that's just it. Anytime I like the bar's set now. So like anytime we do like a series or anything, I think that's kind of why I didn't pick up on Hannibal, was because I'm like, well, but the bar's here.
Watch.
So I never got.
If you get a chance,
doing,
watch
like,
Hannibal. It's very good. It's very good. Like
Okay.
it's a real nice insight into the mind of his name's gone out of my head now. I'll say Anthony Hopkins. There we go.
Yeah, right. Like the only thing that really caught my attention was oh boy, and now I can't remember his fucking name. Polar.
Mads Maxson.
Yes, I did.
I hope I got his name right.
He's a good fucking actor. Like that was the only thing that really kind of like caught my attention, but still like not enough to actually check out the show.
We move on to last news bit.
Oh yes,
Okay,
this I'm very happy with.
Oh, it's the collector. Young Kevin McAllister himself.
Home Alone 4. Home Alone 4 is going to be going back into production.
It's Home Alone 6.
The real Home Alone 4.
Oh, no.
We don't count the other. No, it's the first film. Then years later, the collector.
Well, there's definitely Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
All right, in that case, this will be film number 5.
Yes. Home Alone happened where Kevin McAllister. If you're ever interested, keep an eye on American Horrors over the Christmas season, because some of our older Christmas episodes will be rerunning. One of which was where myself and Giz delved into the fact that Kevin McAllister, there's a very high possibility that he might be the guy donning the mask there.
Okay, thank you. Dude, I'm like, Home Alone collector, where are we fucking going with that?
Well,
that makes so much more sense now.
If you think about it, Kevin McAllister is a young boy, got attacked by 2 crazy criminals, stranded on his own at Christmas twice. And that's the type of thing that could break a young child's mind. And then if you look at the way he's orchestrated the traps around New York City and orchestrated the traps around his house, and then you look at the much more grown-up violent versions of the traps in The Collector, but the same layout and the same meticulousness is going, okay, if they go up the stairs here, this is a really good opportunity to beat him in the fucking head with a log with some nails on it, or whatever he's decided to do in The Collector. Yeah, so Kevin McAllister's murdering people in Home Alone 5. Give me more news about it, please, Giz.
Well, The Collected, I was very excited when I first heard about this ages back. And the reason we haven't given any news on it is because due to the pandemic, production went into kind of a stall for a while. But it has been revealed that they are going to be picking back up in Vancouver, Canada in January, February 2021. So basically the cast are all back. So Josh Stewart is going to be back as Arkin. Marcus Dunstan, the same director, is going to be back. We have Elizabeth Fitzpatrick. I think
she's the girl that made it out of the
in
collection.
The second one. I'm not.
Yeah, and what I read about this as well was this is many months ago when they were talking about the production process. But from what I understand, it picks up directly from The Collection, where Harker has actually got Fuckhead in the box.
Yeah,
which
is
Collected.
Yeah. Okay, because I dug the fucking.
So it's literally direct. It's
ass. So I was kind of curious.
It would appear that
we
Harkin,
went with that.
in being, because everyone forgets, even though he's the hero of the movie, he is a cat burglar who has very little moral scruples, bar the fact that he doesn't want this guy murdering people. And I would imagine that he's gone and rigged himself up a little bit of a fun house himself, is what I'm feeling. And they're sticking the collector in it, which I'm feeling.
Possibly.
I'm going to point out that there's 5 Home Alone movies, and that's actually 2 more than I thought there was.
No, not according to us. Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, The Collector, The Collection, and now The Collected.
Well, and then he points out way more if you count the Saw movies, which I do. Yeah,
Cinema, you should watch the
Collector.
I'll mail you when that Kevin McAllister episode we did shows up, because we actually went into the Saw side of it as well and kind of broke down how if you go by MO, The Collector is a little more on brand with McAllister than Jigsaw.
Because I could see, now that you explained it, I could totally see Collector. Saw, not as much, because he never actually, you're supposed to learn from it, make a choice. The collector was like, "Oh, you should."
Yeah,
not
the
have walked
collector's
this
just like,
doorway."
you're in my territory. Or should I say, you're in my house. I must defend it.
Yeah. So I could totally see, now that you guys brought that up, I could see him just kind of like.
Well, I mean,
snapping and
one of the
being a
major
collector.
things that in that episode, if memory served me correctly, was one of the things that helps the whole stature of the argument we're coming from kind of grab traction is you see Jigsaw in Saw, and it's obviously not Kevin McAllister. Do you know what I mean? Like, the age difference just doesn't match up. Whereas the collector guy's in a mask, so we don't know. And you would assume he's young and virile due to the fact that he can fucking manhandle fuckers in that movie when he does actually get his hands on them himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, and I could see and I can also see that adult version of Home Alone, because it was like, oh, paint cans. Oh, now I've learned how to make paint cans explode in your fucking face.
Let's open
So,
up
I
these
can
paint
see that
cans
jump,
and
kind
let's
of.
just add some shrapnel into the paint cans as well. Explosive paint cans. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
You have no face now.
It's that whole like, I learned paint cans won't stop somebody. Paint cans with shrapnel.
If you ever want to see how much of an actual serial killer Kevin McAllister is, I can't remember the name of the YouTube page off the top of my head, but it's essentially a doctor has a YouTube page where he goes through movies and does like a realistic analysis of what's happened to people and does a kill count, as in he's dead. Yeah, that's it. And Harry and Harry and the other guy died, but I think it was between Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 alone, I think there was about 25 deaths alone. Like nearly everything that happened to them in Home Alone 2 was fucking dead or crippled.
Dude, fruit? Yeah.
That was the sound of a tool shed rolling down the stairs.
I cannot wait for the Christmas Eve episode. I can't wait to do Home Alone. I can't wait. I fucking love Home Alone. I'm going to put my black mask on. I'm going to get my Christmas cardigan. It'll be good times. It'll be good times.
Make some macaroni.
I won't be able to eat it through the mask. Have you seen The Collector?
No. Yes, but
I just want to see you and your fucking Christmas.
It's got Donald Duck in it. That's how unseasonal it is for me to have it. I love the way Giz is like, how does he have a Donald Duck jumper? I have worn this beside you for Christmas episodes. Just to clarify, I still don't like Disney. It was either that, when I went in to buy the Christmas jumper, it was either that, or I can't even remember what the other one was. I'll put it that way. It was bad enough that I was like, okay, red and black Donald Duck it is. Oh yeah, I went with the red and black Donald Duck because it had stripes on it and looked a little bit like Christmas Freddy Krueger. Except with a big Donald Duck Santa head in the middle of it. So I was like, okay. I might have even thrown that out, come to think of it. Yeah, I won't lie to you, as Gizzle testified, that's very me when the minute Christmas is over, I was like, well, I don't need you anymore. Get in the bin.
Fuck this shit.
Hey, ugly.
Well, I had intended on buying an actual normal Christmas jumper or try and get a horror-y Christmas jumper for this season. But then some pandemic kicked off and really fucked my shopping up. So, fucked my shopping right in the A. So it did. But yeah. Anyway, when are we expecting the collector out, Gizzles? Or the collected?
It doesn't say when it's going to be out, but all it did say was that they'll be going back into production in January or February, as opposed to production being halted for the pandemic. That's better than nothing.
Like, I won't lie to you, man. There's been very few contenders for actual, like, noteworthy horror villains, that should be like, okay, I could see franchises keep rolling with this, like Freddy and Jason and that kind of thing. Right. When the collector came out, I was like, well, I very much hope there's way more of those. And we got them.
I don't know. Like, it seems like franchises are starting to kind of become a thing, though. Like, I don't know if it was because we watched Marvel and how successful they were, but franchising is now like, what was that? Ryan Reynolds' Six Underground franchise.
Is that happening?
Dude, yeah, they want to put out like a bunch more of those.
Like, there's only so much Fast and the Furious that you can have now, and I think that would be actually a good filler-inner for people who like the Fast and the Furious stuff. It's just
oh yeah,
it's Ryan Reynolds and Michael Bay where they literally had a conversation going,
right.
How many explosions do you think we can fit into an hour and a half period?
Do you know, I didn't actually spot that. I was watching the film and somehow I managed to completely bypass the Michael Bay bit until I heard an explosion. Until I heard an explosion and I went, hang on a second.
I know that explosion.
That's a base explosion. He uses the same sound effect from fucking Transformers and G.I. Joe and every fucking film.
Michael Bay loves... I don't know if you've noticed, Michael Bay loves dubstep. That's all that is. It's Michael Bay loves... That's what that noise is. It's like every time there's a Michael Bay explosion, the bass drops.
I haven't gotten this into an episode in a while. Fuck you, Michael Bay.
Oh, yeah. Well, we haven't had that up on the screen in the longest time. One moment.
I know, right? Merry holidays.
Johnny, have you got the fan on? Because I think it's aimed at the mic.
It probably is, but that's not the microphone that I'm speaking into for the audience. So you might need to deal with it, because my balls are sweaty, arms beats hard and ready. Mom on a sweater already. Mom's spaghetti.
Look.
And so, yeah, getting into that whole thing. So we got 6 where the Kingsman want to turn it into a franchise. They've got like a bunch more they want to fuck.
Didn't they already franchise that? There's like 2 or 3 of those already.
Third film is supposed to be coming out.
Okay, that might be what I...
idea for
Hashtag fuck Michael Bay. Just to clarify for anyone who's watching the stream and is unaware, Michael Bay has nothing to do with the collected. This is just a general consensus of the GoreCast. I should have read up.
Yeah, the GoreCast would like to say fuck Michael Bay.
But if it means I get more underground,
yeah. But you see, I'm able to tolerate that Michael Bay because it's peppered with Ryan Reynolds, which makes everything more tolerable.
It's like putting butter on stuff. It's like, oh, okay. I don't really like it. But you put the butter.
This saltine's a little bit just salty. I mean, it's like a.
Sure. What?
Yeah,
that one.
Fuck it, I'm good.
I can do all the cinematic.
I don't know where
glass.
we're going anymore.
I don't know, but kids are just gonna sit there like 0.3 fuckers.
I'm sorry, Michael Bay got brought up, so I
won't lie to you. Like, it's the one thing.
I'm sorry.
He destroyed Turtles. He destroyed Transformers. No one has more reason to say "fuck you, Michael Bay" than me. Believe you me.
The Ryan Reynolds thing is one of
dumb. I'm right behind you, dude. Like, I hate what he did to our childhood, but then he fucking killed it with 6
Yeah, but that's because he stopped trying to do a plot. The plot was literally guys work for no one but love blowing shit up. Let's blow some shit up.
Right. And then he turned around like, hey,
and as I said,
like a bunch more of those.
Okay. It's one of the Ryan Reynolds is one of those weird things that myself and my lovely fiance agree on, where we'd both cuddle up with him and let him read us Christmas stories. He's Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, dude.
He brought Mick.
Yeah,
Rick Moranis
like high five.
Thank you.
High five.
It was an awesome
literally,
person,
Rick Moranis was like, so you literally just had me in the commercial because I'm Rick Moranis, and he's like, yeah.
Then he got attacked.
Yeah, I would fucking face punch the fuck out of whoever did. Rick Moranis is a goddamn saint. He's never done anything to nobody.
Fuck right. That man stopped taking care of family and shit. How do you punch him in the
his entire
face?
career because his wife passed away, and he did what not a lot of Hollywood stars would do, and went, these kids need a fucking dad, not a fucking movie star. And he went off and did his dad thing. He did some voice acting and stuff because you can do that from home.
Yep. So many others would have just hired a fucking nanny and got rich. He was like, sorry, I gotta go fucking do this.
He does. Ryan Reynolds does deludes the Michael Bay taste. Yeah, it's like when you get a shitty fucking meal and you just a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of cayenne. Oh, it's a party in my mouth now.
This is passable.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie. Like Ryan Reynolds could like rock me to sleep at night, and I'd be okay with it. Just
Ryan
read me a bedtime
Reynolds is the
story.
Tabasco
We're
sauce
good.
of actors. If you put him on anything, it'll make it that little bit nicer. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. I'm fucking. You know, one moment. I think we found a new hashtag.
Are we moving on to a movie?
Yeah, we will. Ryan. Yeah, we're talking about Ryan Reynolds. Yo, don't couple off the Ryan Reynolds conversations, all right?
Your blue balls is Ryan Reynolds over here.
No.
Tabasco sauce.
Don't worry. The movies aren't really that.
That's a new hashtag there, kids. We're gonna have to shrink that down. That's a big hashtag there, kids. That's a big one. I was gonna shrink that down there. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, the Tabasco sauce of cinema.
Shit, dude. One of the reasons why Sean just bits like he can make anything fucking good.
Just like Tabasco sauce. Oh, this cardboard tastes like shit. It's like a party in my mouth. Nom nom nom. This Bloody Mary just tastes like fucking tomatoes and celery. Plop, plop, plop. Da-da! Woo! I'm awake now.
We need to sprinkle some Ryan Reynolds on these movies.
He hasn't done a Christmas horror. There's only one Ryan Reynolds horror movie, and I didn't mind it, mostly because it had Ryan Reynolds in it, to be blatantly honest. So I was like, he's really good. He's really good at losing his mind.
I mind the fact that you didn't mind it, all right? Like, that's the one Ryan Reynolds movie I will not fucking know.
You don't get lost
so
in
deep
his
in
abs?
Abby.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That was more of like a, fuck, I will never have
They're so ripped that, like, I feel if you scream into his belly, it'll echo. They're so deep in tone.
I'm kind of mad at him because I will never have that.
I think you can't be mad at Ryan Reynolds.
No. I will not give him that
And read me Christmas
movie
stories until I fall asleep. Ryan Reynolds, just to clarify, if you ever do happen to see the stream, I wouldn't mind like getting a beer and like smoking some cigars. I'm not actually that infatuated with you, just to clarify. Although you have such a soothing voice and your arms don't look like they're so full of hugs and love.
I watched him read mean tweets. The shit did not seem mean. All right, like it was all good.
I could have a fatal illness that I feel if Ryan Reynolds gave it to me, I'd be kind of like, that doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, that's because of the way I said it, though. If you know what I mean. Just to clarify, you're pre-fucked. But this is why they brought me in as kind of cushion blow. But I feel I should leave the leave the gravity of the reality.
Cool.
Ryan Reynolds, will you cuddle me to my final sleep? Yeah, sure, but that's fine. That's fine.
Read me Goodnight Moon. It's my favorite book.
Good night, Johnny. Good night, Moon. Boo.
Okay, we've watched about 4 of us. I guess
No. He died happy. Just let him go.
Oh, peaceful too.
Fuck, this has been a weird start to the show. We're on an hour nearly, and it's been a good 40 minutes of Ryan Reynolds.
He's that damn good.
I can see mails on Instagram tomorrow. More Ryan Reynolds, please. Okay, it would appear we're just exclusively doing Ryan Reynolds movies now. What's up, Ryan Casters, and welcome to the Ryan Cast. All your Reynolds needs, all day, all night, 24/7. Uncut, unheard Ryan Reynolds. Oh.
Hardcore absent humor.
Bree, we are just discussing about what a lovely man Ryan Reynolds is for about 35 minutes, if you're wondering what's going on.
Yes. The goddamn.
Although it would be worth rewinding when you get a chance.
I'm sure movie
It will
reviews
be
will
worth
happen
rewinding
at
when you
some
get a chance, because I did act out what I would like my final moments to be in life, which also involved Ryan Reynolds. Anyway, movies.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a joke at first, but I really wouldn't mind him reading Goodnight
It seems
Moon
like
to
a really
me.
relaxing kind of. I feel like I would wake up.
I wouldn't mind him reading me the phone book.
Like, he's gonna throw a few jokes in there. It's soothing. Like, that will probably be the best fucking sleep
Ryan
I've
Reynolds
ever had, dude. I'm not gonna
making
lie.
Ryan Reynolds
Pizza
making straight men
586.
question their reality since 19 whatever. Am I gay though? Because I don't think about it about any other guy.
It's one of those passes.
Yeah,
You get
Ryan
that
Reynolds.
one pass.
Ryan Reynolds.
Like, you're like, no, you're like appreciating.
He'd appreciate you too. I think that's the thing. Let's move on. This is getting weird.
He's
Yes,
Canadian.
it would be very
He
polite.
has to.
I would have.
Okay. That was fun. That's definitely one of the weirder starts to the shows, I gotta say. Off the oh yeah,
Welcome
it's
back
a
to
group
all
chat
four of
Thursday
us.
again, kids. I felt weird last week. We were so on point. It was like we got movies done. There was a bit of news at the start. Everything. We're back on track now, fuckers. Oh yes. Right. First up, from 1980. We have Christmas Evil, which, while I didn't particularly like the overall execution of this movie, I did like certain facets of this movie. Mostly how the
It's like falling down for Santa Claus.
Fuck
in the
fuck
80s.
yes, that's
really
literally
is.
what it fucking is. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Young Harry and his
Like,
Harry and his brother are
fucking-
back in the 50s or the
Yeah.
60s or whatever, and they're having a Christmas with the family, and Mama has them on the stairs, and she's like, if you're really quiet and really careful, you might get to see Santa Claus delivering some presents. So they all sit down on Christmas Eve as a family. Lo and behold, down what I can only imagine is the biggest fucking chimney in the United States, Santa Claus arrives. Santa Claus delivers some presents and stuff. He eats a little bit of a sandwich. He eats drinks a little bit of milk, and then he buggers off back up the chimney. Mom's like, hey, Billy or Harry and your brother, whose name I can't remember, get into bed. Sorry, I got my wrong Killer Santas mixed up. Sorry. Hey, Harry and your brother, whose name I can't remember, why don't you get into bed and you can open up all of their presents in the morning? And then Harry's kind of like, I won't lie to you, man. This seems like a crock of bullshit. You know that was Dad and the thing, right? And then he goes and he crawls down and he has a whole moment where he's kind of like, oh my God, Mommy's kissing Santa Claus under the mistletoe. That song is totally true. And then he looks back and then he's like, oh my God, what are you doing to Mommy? What are you doing to Mommy? He's mind broke. He's gone. That's it. That's the end of that. Life was different for that child from that day forth. So much so.
I saw Santa
These
sucking
flaps
on-
standing neath the Christmas tree last night. I hid under my bed and cried myself to sleep. Oh, I cannot get to sleep tonight.
Clap.
Rocking back and forth. Going, oh God, what did I see?
In a one.
I've somehow merged 3 different Christmas tunes
never
into one song there. But anyway. Oh God, I'm never going to be the same again.
Mama and Santa's beard.
And like, I don't know, man. Like, I guess I never would have expected that to like.
Yeah,
turn
he
somebody into
snapped
fucking
like a
psychopath.
How could
How
you?
could it not?
Dude.
I don't know. Like, holy shit,
Santa
Mom.
Claus.
Yeah.
was
It was
in
beard
Mom's
to
bush.
beard action going on,
Like-
kids.
Right,
There could have
okay,
been a forest fire.
But I'm like, oh, Mom's hooking up with Santa. I'm getting fat Christmas this year. Is
Yeah,
kind of where I was.
she was just like kissing Santa Claus. She was getting like her
Right.
cookie.
Which is why I'm getting fat shit under the Christmas. Mom's easy.
Not even Ryan Reynolds can fix that.
I don't know.
Ryan Reynolds be like, mommies and daddies sometimes they kiss in other places than their mouths.
How is this coming back to him again?
It always comes
Oh,
back
I
to
missed
Ryan
that. Are we talking
Reynolds.
about Ryan Reynolds again?
Um,
Yay!
Yeah. He was trying to talk. He's going to talk you down from the horrors of Santa Claus sucking mommy off.
Wait,
And-
like, had he been like the fucking head none of that? Like, had he been the head, or no, that was the other movie. Had he sat down and was like, dude, it's okay.
These movies are the same goddamn movie.
Oh, they really are not.
Christmas Evil is about a guy who gets a little bit traumatized as a kid, grows up to be a fucking moron his entire life.
Silent Night,
whose
Deadly
younger
Night is where
brother
they
has
slowly
to deny him.
orchestrated a killer
Turns out
unawares to themselves and the fact that Catholic nuns are evil bitches.
Yes.
Yeah, we can get to that in a minute. But yeah, the whole fucking thing is there the whole time. He's fucking all he cares about is his job. He's got no life. You get the impression from the younger brother that his older brother Harry has been a fuck up the entire goddamn time. He is a voyeur of the most deranged potential because he envisions himself as being Santa Claus. He's actually spying on children and making it deceive the audience who's been nice. What the
pedophile too, having like photos of certain young girls. Jesus shit.
Like the first time he broke out the fucking good, bad boys and girls. Well, Giz is cool. He likes to open doors for people. I'm like, dude, you're using fucking like.
That was the first warning sign, and then it just fucking deteriorates.
Oh
from there.
yes, because he used to work on the toy manufacturing floor of a toy shop. He's due to him being one of the weird scenarios where someone's mental breakdown has actually worked in their favor. He's moved right up into corporate because he's so in tune with the toys and everything. Like, this guy knows what people want. We should have this guy handling everything. That's not good. That's not good either, because his little childlike thoughts that he had about the way toy shops should be ran, and then the reality of big toy. I was trying to be like, what's the toy equivalent of big pharma? Big whatever. That one. Yeah, that also exacerbated the mental breakdown that this guy's been having for several years already, because he was like, but
they were also making the lamest.
Yeah, this was
toys
the 80s. I found that quite entertaining as well. I was like,
no.
toy soldiers in the 80s? Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't there dolls that pissed themselves in the 80s
I remember
at that stage?
But I remember the guy that you could put on a motorcycle and like he would ride it. So I was like, oh
Yeah, in the
that one.
50s.
Here's the thing. The character himself, right? When he does snap and decide to truly take on the persona of Santa, he fucking super glues a beard onto himself.
He is Santa Claus.
He's reached his full level. But if you look at it, right, he really does take the extremes, because he actually, when people are nice, he actually does go out of his way to be nice. He gets pulled into a Christmas party at one point, and for the most of it, he actually plays the part of Santa. Now, granted, there is that creepy conversation he has with the kids, but even that's that's playing into him believing this is what Santa would do.
You know, the more you
Always
mention his ways of acting Santa and all of that, this is actually one long allegory for how an Oedipus complex can really fuck shit up.
If one of the things that I was thinking while watching it was, like I said, firstly, it's like falling down for Santa
Wants
Claus.
to bang his mom.
The other thing is, I found myself drawing parallels with the way the story played out with Harry Portrait of a Serial Killer. Not the same
the
stuff,
escalation
but in the
of
way that
violence.
it's explained and goes through it.
Really?
Yes, and the reasoning for it.
Harry
is that a
Portrait
good
of
one
a
to
Serial Killer
watch,
is fucking fantastic. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is fucking fantastic. Or that you could have actually called this Harry Portrait of a Serial Killer, a Christmas Story.
Again,
Actually, yeah, you could call this one Harry Portrait. Yeah.
But I'll agree with you, because like when he put the beard on, I was like, oh, spirit glue, cool. I seriously thought it was going to be like hey, I'll take it off tomorrow. But as he kept like pulling on it, and he's like, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh yeah, he hot glue gunned the beard to his face.
Did he not realize it was super glue?
Oh no,
that
was the whole point.
That was that breaking point. Like that was the threshold that he stepped over, because he realized, I'm Santa. Like every time he pulled on it, it was that reinforcement of, this isn't fake. I'm fucking Santa. And I was like,
at that stage, he just takes it and
because at that point he's like, oh, that motherfucker. Like that's past the threshold. He's Santa. Like,
Harry.
Harry is fucking gone. He's fucking Santa at that point. And like it says, like he really did take on that persona because he's like, when he went in, he's like, he's dancing with the kids and he's having so much fun. And when the adults like meet him, you can see he's just like, oh fuck, where's this going? Santa, here's a drink. We're so happy to see you. Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Merry fucking Christmas. But like it said towards the end of that, he's like, hey, so if you're good, I got you. I will always look out.
I will get you, and I will always find you.
I will give you shit. I was kind of like, oh,
taken.
I've got a very
we'll
specific set of festive skills.
not gonna lie, like kind of like felt like that's what he was leading into. You're bad. I'm fucked.
Yeah, like, well, I mean,
And then he just kind of
there's the mental.
Merry Christmas.
There's
and it was like, I was like, oh.
You see that first big initial mental break when he's walking back from the toy store, and he always has these kind of childlike toy conversations with the kids across the road, and he's asking them what they're getting for Christmas, and they're like, what are you getting for Christmas? And he's like, oh, a bag full of magic. You know, something you'd say to a bunch of 9-year-olds, and then one of the kids is a little fucking... He's a bold child. He's not like an evil kid. Do you know, he's just the one you'd kind of want to be like, oh, why I oughta... Back at it. You know, the type of kid that definitely gets clipped across the back of the head 3 or 4 times a day. Do you know what I mean? Bop! Shut up, you little fucking...
Oh, we definitely see him getting a slap across the face.
You know, I miss the 80s. I won't like... Yeah. But, Mom, there's so many, though.
Get in the car.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
If it was the 50s, he got slapped hard enough that he could have been a shocked woman who was possibly drunk and or terrified by something, and you needed to get her back into order. Calm down, you know. But yeah, like he's a bold kid. He's a little bollocks, but he's not an evil child. But as Harry's having this conversation with the kids, he's like, I want a Penthouse magazine. So Harry's like, you go in the bad book of kids. And then Harry, non-Santa Claus, does a real terrifying thing where he like hangs out in a bush out the front of the fucking house, literally misses grabbing the kid by his fucking head by like
missed him by that much.
But then also like marched the house. Like that was like a big thing for me, dude.
Well, Rochi,
like,
welcome to the chat, bro.
With the fucking mud. And then like pressed up against the house. I was like, are you reminding yourself for later? Like, what are we fucking doing here, dude?
All that went through my mind is fingerprints, you knob-end fingerprints.
Same here. Right. No, like that's what I'm like, okay, it's the 80s. Were we that accurate with fingerprints?
It took me a second and I went, yes, actually.
Fingerprints aren't as accurate now as they let them make out. Like, let's be honest.
Right, but I just mean like, because I was with Giz, though.
Entire fucking hands.
Right. Both fucking hands. I'm like, oh, you're caught tomorrow, dude. Like, if you're in the system.
Not back in the 80s. The 80s.
Right.
Not back then.
Do a lot of coke and vote for Ronald Reagan and slap children.
Yeah. That sounds like a fine weekend to me. Voting for Ronnie Ray and smacking some kids.
My favorite scene is where he smothers the dude with his toy sack.
Yeah, I like that. It was there's a kill I haven't seen in a Christmas movie.
And the wife is just like nothing, like just my husband's being suffocated by a sack. That's okay.
I guess like for me it's weird because like, okay, you've got the church.
Took a minute for that to land there for a second, but when it did, I was like
sorry, sack joke.
But when we're at the church, he drops 3 people that are fucking douchey, leaves the 4th one because she's like, guys, stop. He purposely left the 4th one alive, toasts the fucking other 3.
Yeah.
But then it was like when we went to the house where he fucking bagged the guy, but then like caught him with the Christmas tree star, he seemed like put off by that. And so like that kind of threw me off because I thought by this point we had like solidified, I'm down all you bad fuckers.
There's a difference. Those 3 people that he whacked outside the church, they were incidental. He was looking for somebody else. Those were people he didn't know. The guy he takes out in his own home, that's somebody that he works with. That's someone that fucked him over and that he's known for a while.
Right.
So
I thought that was like, I guess to me, the guy in the house was a more solidified kill because, like he said, I know the tune now, and it's just time for me to fucking sing the tune. So the guy in the bedroom would have, to me, fallen under the tune.
Yeah.
And 3, like you said at the church, I'm looking at that guy. You 3 are in front of me. It happened. But it was the fact that he did it so, like, he was like, fuck you, and fuck you. Like, it was not determined.
Methodical.
Yeah. Not even that. Like, it was just, like, so quick, and he didn't have an issue with it. He dropped and he was like, yeah, what? But in the house, like I said, he was like, oh, my God, and he ran out. I thought that guy would have been a go fuck you, like, you're on the naughty list because he had fucked him over so much. I guess I just expected that one to be a non-issue. So, like, I kind of had a weird, like, I couldn't quite figure out sometimes where his mental state was, and maybe that's the whole point of the movie, because he was slowly cracking up. I just thought, like, I saw where it was like a definite, he's fucking Santa and he's going to kill the bad. But then, like I said, later on we hit that. So it was just that whole, like.
Well, as I said, the only thing I can think is that, like, you know, the fact that he did know that guy, you know, and he was.
Right.
You know,
so
that recognition.
So maybe that was kind of like a pulled him back because that was part of his reality.
Yeah, just for a brief bit, yeah.
Okay.
And then as soon as he walks out, but then as soon as he walks out, then he sees the kids and he's back in character until the wife screams, and then it's.
Okay. No, and like then that makes more sense. Like I said, I just couldn't figure it out while I was watching it. So it made like that rough patch while I was like, yep. What the fuck is that about? Kind of thing. But I did appreciate the actual, like, chasing the bad guy down with torches.
Jeez, I was surprised there wasn't pitchforks.
Right? That fucked me all up. I'm like, so we all, like, who's got torches?
I actually think I think this is actually where you start getting into kind of one of the major issues with the movie. It's, I know it's a kind of wacky story in general, but it's like if it had like a cynicism. Yeah, it had
away from the
that's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, there was a very sinister level of wacky going on initially, and it was as it got kind of into the kills and towards the end that it went a little bit OTT on the wackiness and kind of lost you a little bit, because for a good 50 to 60% of this movie, it's a very, very, like, while wacky, serious look at a guy's psychotic breakdown over the course of a decade or two.
Right.
Well, you're kind of seeing the accumulation of a decade or two's worth of psychotic breakdown come to a head, basically. And then it went a little OTT.
And I mean, and like, you know, you had him where he walked up to the kids, not in an alleyway, but he was sitting there talking to the kids, and you had the parents, like, behind the kids. We already knew that Santa had done something bad. He had the dude that pulled the switchblade. Like, he was, you know, like, even in that part, like, I wasn't really bothered because, like, we had heard Santa had done something. So you're going to kind of be protective of your kids from some guy in a costume. But, like, once we got to the pitchforks, once we got to the actual torches, I was like, that's just fucking weird. Like, did we just keep torches in the 80s? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I think that was just supposed to be played on the whole mob mentality.
Cocaine and torches, bitches.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, guys.
They're playing off mob mentality. I mean, you did have scenarios whereby, you know, people would get fucking chased through a neighborhood or whatever because they thought they were doing something.
Right. No, I totally get, like, mob mentality. It was just mob torched mentality.
Like I said, this is the zany aspect.
Get your torches. And you were like, yep, got it right here, bro. We're good. And, like, we all just mobbed towards him. It was weird.
We haven't had a good mobbing in a while, actually, come to think of it, guys. I haven't got my mobbing torch out in a while.
Let me rephrase that. I turned
to mobbing. Bring the torches for everybody.
Let me rephrase that. I turned to Buzz. Hey, bud, go get your torch. Torch? I've got.
I already have it on me.
Yeah, I have mine, like, separate. Like, I screw it together.
Future name. I turn to Giz if I ever need.
I won't lie to you, and I think we should kind of get into it and start getting into the trailer. The ending of this is where it really lost me.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Dashing through the snow.
Yeah.
And I think like we talked about that too. I was like, I get it. Like I get the scene, but in that same sense, I just kept expecting something else.
Well, consider, right? What happens at the end of Christmas? Santa flies
Yeah.
away.
Right.
But I think we've established
Since it'll
that Harry isn't Santa Claus.
But has Harry established that
the
Harry is
front door.
Santa Claus?
I know. Sorry, Buzz. I
Right.
didn't mean to
Like,
break
we've
the
seen it all.
illusion the movie had woven for you.
It's all freaking lie.
But like we've seen in other movies, like there's the like diving into the psychopath's illusion of life, and I got that. But when you get that kind of like that moment, then you also get back into realism, and I guess that's kind of what I was expecting. I got his part; it made a lot of fucking sense. But then I expected like the last 2 seconds of something to happen, then credits. Whereas we went like his illusion, credits, and I was like, this is higher thinking. It shouldn't be. It's a higher thinking film. Get it?
Is it a higher thinking film?
I thought it was far
Yeah,
more surreal than I was
Yeah,
expecting.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get
Okay.
to the scene of it, like right.
Right, okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to jump into the trailer for... Yep, that's the buzz. That's the buzz back. We're going to jump into the trailer for Christmas Evil. And we are going to be back where we're going to be talking about a personal favourite of mine at Christmas. Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984. So enjoy the trailer. You've seen it playing in the background as per usual. So now you get to hear it with some audio bits. Back in a couple of minutes.
Good boy, Scotty. But if you're bad boys and girls, your name goes in the bad boys and girls book, and I'll bring you something horrible.
We hope all the boys and girls out there have been good this year, don't we, Bill?
We sure do. I have something for you.
I have superlative taste.
Santa Claus. That's the only way the police can identify him.
Merry Christmas, Frank.
It's scary. He's gonna get you.
Avoid anyone dressed as Santa Claus.
Don't make kids scared again. They won't think everything's coming to them so easy. They're bad.
Santa's hit list is goddamn selective. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or
No, it wasn't any of these Santa Clauses. His suit had dark fur.
Don't! It's gonna hurt our kids. We're not even sure it's him.
Not sure my ass. Look at the fur on that suit.
One. And that was the trailer for Christmas Evil from 1980. Yeah, look, if you haven't seen it, there isn't a lot of high caliber Christmas horror movies. Do you know what I mean? And this isn't terrible. And look, for a good, I will say, for a good 60-70% of the movie, it is essentially like Harry portrait of a serial Santa. Do you know what I mean? And it's really good.
Yeah.
It's just when it gets a bit wackadoodle near the end, it kind of lost me.
Yeah, no, and I thought for an 80s film, it did really good. It showed good character, fucking growth, decline, the whole thing. Is it super gory? Not for the 80s, but it still was a good movie. until the end. That's where it kind of
and unfortunately, the ending is.
It has a different kind of shock factor than Gore.
Yeah, you nailed it in the head earlier. It's a lot more cerebral than just visceral shit happening on the screen for the sake of it.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it myself. I put it on and it was kind of like, okay, this is probably going to be lowbrow, kill, gore, and all of a sudden it's kind of like, actually, this is okay. This is quite.
Yeah,
an
and then it got
elaborate
lowbrow,
film
kill, gore.
And what got me was
Well, not gore, but
what if you look at the cast then and now, there actually turns out to be quite a few good actors and actresses later on down the road.
One of the lads I recognized, he's in Oz. He's one of the old boys that comes in. He he writes a book and they end up having to kill him. And it was weird seeing him look so fucking young.
Oh, dude, okay. Harry and his brother both are that same way. I've grown up watching them kind of in the background of like TV shows and movies. So seeing them like right up front, it was like, you're so young. Your hair's dark and long. I'm like, oh my God. And the guy that played, and I can't remember, Harry, main Santa.
Yeah.
I'd seen him. I had never seen him like star in a movie before. So like that kind of.
Yep.
Brendan Maggart.
That's him there now.
Okay. So like that fucked me up. It was kind of cool, like overall, just to see so many fucking faces. You know.
See. Anyway, next up from 20. No, that's wrong. From 2084. No, from 1984. As I said, personal favorite of mine because it's when you think Christmas horror movies, Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is what we're going to be talking about, is probably one of the more notable ones up there. You'd have Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night would definitely ring in, and
Cadaver.
No.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Santa's Sleigh.
Ooh.
No, you see, no, but I'm talking about like prolific, as in, you know, like a lot of people may not have seen Sleigh Bells, and a lot of people may not have seen Santa's Sleigh. It's got fucking Fran Drescher in it, though. Get on that shit if you haven't seen it. It's fucking hilarious.
I've not seen it,
Christmas
but a
Horror Story. Yeah, it's not out long enough, I think, for it to be prolific, but goddamn, you should get that. We're covering that at some stage, aren't we? That is fucking fun. And as I said to, I can't remember, I think it was on the Drop Dead Asylum horror page, the Drop Dead Family horror page on Facebook. I was like, I won't lie to you, I'm down for anything post Star Trek Shatner in it.
I'm not like, okay, so we're not covering it for our Christmas
Are we
films
not?
this month.
I'm
a little upset.
We'll rectify that.
Rectified.
We'll jiggery. We can't put it on the Christmas Eve episode because kids will be with us.
Right, but like we still have the 17th we can kind of play with, depending on if we can all get
What's
copies
the
of
17th? It's on
everything.
Netflix.
Yeah,
no. I mean, no. Our show the 17th isn't on Netflix, but A Christmas Horror Story is on Netflix.
Yeah.
It would be awesome if it was. Netflix, get on that shit. But
as we found out, like word for the American side and the Ireland side, who always
they usually have it on at Christmas. That's where I found it. Anyway, yeah, we can rectify that. I think our line up for what we were going to do for the GoreCast TV show changed, and I think that's why I left it off our lists, because you and I were going to be covering it. Oh, we're still going to be covering it, actually, in the Killer Elves episode.
Go you.
Hey, I got a shock bit of news for you, man. And when you signed your contract, I think it was something in a paragraph you must have not read or something. You can watch movies that I haven't told you to watch.
What? Okay. I love that fucking movie. Right. No. It said in the contract, watch whatever the fuck you want, but you may not be able to fucking talk about it.
It also says watch a bunch
Yeah,
of garbage.
Yeah.
So my contract said.
Yeah.
See, Buzz is a little bit more upset about his contract than mine.
That's because it was to whom it may concern. There's a good chance you're going to have to watch some garbage.
Yeah.
Just sign on the dotted line.
Do it.
And then there was a load of pages he didn't read behind that front page.
Yes. Oh, come on, dude. Not that bottle, the other one.
That's special occasions. No.
Anyway. Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984 tells the story of young Billy who ends up in an orphanage after there's a bit of a Christmas incident. Then there's more Christmas incidents, but they're very Catholic.
Dude, you make it sound like he didn't get the fucking bicycle he asked for.
He probably didn't.
Really?
There was also a side of murder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of these movies are fine examples of how Christmas can break someone's fragile psyche and turn them into a fucking serial killing Santa Claus at the drop of a hat.
That's why I said they're kind of.
And the Catholic nuns are very slappy.
Yes, it is. There we go. Exactly. Like, I feel like the second nun was like, hey, we need to sit down. Let's work with little Timmy. We can help him. Mother Superior was like,
and then Billy was like, if you call me Timmy one more time, motherfucker, I'm going to dress up like Santa Claus and stab the fuck out of you.
You know what I found fascinating?
Go on.
You know what I found fascinating? In just 8 short years, she would completely, utterly change her career and go from penguin to pathologist.
Excuse me, I'm going to have to... Oh, right, okay, I was wondering what you were on about. I was like, penguin to pathologist. What in the flying fuck are you on about? Right, okay. Yes.
Pathologist in Predator 2.
Oh my God, are you serious? That's her?
90% certain. No, I just need to double check to make sure I don't get fucked in the ass on this one.
It'll make for great
And
TV.
you know what? Like, I can't lie because I grew up Catholic, so like that heavy hand is true. I'll just fucking
that heavy hand is so true. It's not even funny.
No, I'm just saying that. Like, right? No, I'm just saying on American side, Irish side, like, dude, like, it don't lie. You're gonna fuck a kid up as they get older doing that heavy hand shit. That kid needed a hug.
Whoa. Hang on a moment. Sorry, hang on a moment. Not that I'm an advocate for you beating your fucking children, right? But let's jump back to Christmas Evil for a moment. That little fucker who gets slapped by his mom. That's not heavy-handedness. That's just like stopping a little bollocks.
No. It is right. No. A Christmas Evil is like I told you to pick up your toys. What the fuck? Right. No. Like, I agree. Silent Night, Deadly Night, though, like the second nun was like, he gets worse every year.
Yeah, I agree with that. The other nun was very much, let's put some, Mother Superior's like, let's put some soap bars in a fucking stocking and beat the fuck out of him.
She unfortunately needed to know what safe words meant.
Exactly.
He got Catholic Gomer Pyle is what is essentially I'm trying to get across.
She just broke into that room with those two people doing it, and she just started whipping the shit out of them.
There was that, and like one can only imagine where she went from there.
Right.
She is a nun after all. Exactly.
Like
touchy.
The two films definitely show the difference of like whoop some ass, hug a kid, tell it's gonna be okay. Like
fuck some ass.
Oh, dude.
There was a lot of fucking going on in this movie. I mean,
a couple, bro.
Oh no! There's definitely more fucking than that. Just that one scene.
Yeah.
There was the attempted rape.
There's the initial sexual encounter where the nun whips your one. There's the attempted rape. There's some legit sex between some teenagers, and I think there's some fucking heavy petting and canoodling later on in the movie as well.
No. Wait. I thought that was flashbacks to the teenagers. So, like, that's the same plot. You had the kids that got popped to the orphanage, work, which, like you said, was the attempted rape.
A miscellaneous bunch of teenagers.
The pool. Yeah, the pool table.
Babysitter.
Yeah, but I mean, as in, it's miscellaneous bunch of...
That wasn't a flashback.
But, he got blue balls pretty bad though by a cat and
hands on a pool table.
Neither do I. Carter's mic broke and he just came in and it ends up on a pool table. That's all I heard. What? It's all that matters. It ended up on a pool table.
8-ball corner pocket.
And it fucked me up. I didn't realize who the chick from the pool table was until later.
Yeah.
Linnea Quigley? Linnea Quigley. She's Slash for anyone who's not familiar with Night of the Living Dead. Or Return of the Living Dead, sorry. And Night of the Demons, yeah. She's in everything.
She's the
no, that's the remake. You've got the right character, just the wrong movie.
She put the wrong movie.
Yeah. I didn't change it up for the original.
She
took the pause. She did take that pause. Anyway, Silent Night. Okay, okay. I'm trying to think of where essentially in the storyline we are now, because we're kind of into the storyline. That's pretty much the storyline after several kind of odd sexual encounters that your man kind of comes across, and a lot of beatings by nuns, and the fact that Santa Claus has been kind of a running theme of his life being shit. Young Billy Snap's like being forced to dress as Santa Claus, even though he's got issues with the claws, but they stick him in a Santa Claus outfit at the shop.
I was kind of surprised he just took it, he cowered away from the one in the chair, but then they're like, "Here's the suit." And he's
he's very.
It's important.
He doesn't have a lot of. He doesn't make a lot of decisions for himself. If you know what I mean, Billy just does what Billy's told to do.
His entire life has been
I feel like
once he puts the suit on, it's kind of like, okay, I'm him, and he tries to be good at it, and he tries not to snap.
But then all of a sudden, I've got a fire axe in my hand. What the fuck is going on? Oh no!
Well, no, to be fair, it's not until he sees the girl be attacked in the storeroom, and that kicks his memory in, and he starts to remember everything again, and he becomes this resolve of, okay, if Santa Claus is capable of all of this, I am Santa Claus. I'm capable of this.
But it's also important to point out, though, he watched Mom and Dad get killed by Santa, so he's not exactly a fan of Christmas as a child.
But he also sees Santa Claus as being a figure that is capable of horrendous violence. He is now dressed as him, so it is now okay for him to become this.
He doesn't have the normal. He doesn't have the normal kid's view of Santa Claus. He's seen, although be it not the canonical dark side of Santa Claus in his life, he's seen the dark side of Santa and the good side of Santa. So when he sees the rape incident happen, he just gets on board with the murder, kill a lot quicker than someone.
And that part kind of confused me, because it was like, he saves the girl from being raped. She's like, "You're crazy," and it's like, dude just saved you from being raped, and you're like, he's crazy.
So,
possibly because he completely Mike Myers him and managed to
I don't think it's so much this. I don't think it's so much this.
I
don't think it was so much the saving was the issue. It was more the manner it happened in. Do you know what I mean?
If I was in that situation and I was almost raped, I'd be like, Santa, thank you.
You know what? Just a selection box under the Christmas tree this year will be fine. I think you've held up your end of the bargain fantastically.
Yeah. But I have to ask though, is it necessarily, because Giz pointed out, it's I saw Santa do so many bad things, it's okay. Or is it just his own humanity snapping and becoming
It's
a
both,
fucking
but the fact that
psychopath.
it's the fact that he's
But
in.
he's in a
It's
persona
both,
that
but it's
allows
the fact
for
that
it.
he's in Santa cosplay, where, as we said earlier, he's seen Santa as this granted gift bringer and thing that kids like, but also this violent, murdering psychopath that he does. Which I totally respect, yeah. But he gets on board with the murdering a lot more than your average Joe who would be in a Santa costume thinking they're Santa Claus.
Like, okay. The only reason I question it is we watched Christmas Evil, and that motherfucker was like evil, and like chopped the fucking trees down. He called it out like he was Santa. To whereas like in Silent Night, Deadly Night, it seemed more of like a snap of mentality and just a reaction thereof.
It's both. Like if you look at the way he's been treated over the years, he's been raised. He's got
his moral compass is set at extremes.
He has a trigger switch. He doesn't have a escalation of anything between anything. It's either this is the good stuff and everything's fine, or people are getting fucked up and that's the way it goes. There's no like if it was Tim Allen dressed as the Santa Claus, he'd have probably gone in and been all doing the ho ho ho. Maybe you shouldn't be trying to rape somebody. Ho ho ho. But that's because Tim Allen just has normal Santa Claus connotations as to what Santa does.
Because, like, you know, when we unfolded the banner, and he's like, "Merry Christmas," oh, and like you saw like the fucking twinge. I get it, you know, but it was like later on, it was a weird kind of like superhuman strength because he's like able to one hand strangle the.
We do see that demonstrated earlier on in the film. The whole point he's hired is that he is actually a big dude, and we see him lifting up a huge fucking box on his own.
Right,
and
like your man's like, "Do you not want a hand with that?" He's like, "No, it's fine."
And admittedly, I agree, but it's like,
I
don't know, it's a shift in
you also have to take into account that he's been you also have to take into account that he's been raised in like a Catholic, essentially orphanage. Do you know what I mean? Which is like it's prison with more prayer. Do you know what I mean? So all he's been doing is playing on the yard and doing gym shit and fucking lifting shit and fucking doing shit and lifting shit and doing shit, lifting shit. Yeah, well, yeah.
Bro.
Well, it wasn't like he was doing fucking weights on the fucking rec yard. Do you know what I mean? But it was like the nuns had him fucking working. Do you know what I mean? He's been.
And I'm not gonna lie, like psychologically, I saw his decline. The nun was too fucking hard. The other one was like, dude, this kid needs a little extra hug and a little bit more fucking conversation. And the Mother Superior was like, no, what he fucking needs is, I'm not gonna lie, like I definitely saw this fucking happening. It was just little question, kind of like as it unfolded, where I was like, really, maybe, I don't know. So like that's what
I think this is why, like, if you take it in comparison to Christmas Evil, I think it's why in a weird way it's a slightly more realistic story, because it's the level of psychotic breakdown that your man has. While I can get how seeing mom getting eaten out by Santa Claus could fuck you in the head. Do you know what I mean? But it's kind of like, wow, that escalated to a level that I wasn't really expecting it to get to. Do you know what I mean? Now, granted, there's several other factors that result in the full with him, but this is a very well told story as to how a guy snaps, and you can see the snapping happen in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Like this one, I definitely supported him being the way he was a lot more than I did Christmas Evil, because again, like, yeah, so I saw Santa tickling mom's fucking feather. The overall, like, I didn't really see, like, yeah, I'm a easygoing individual that people push over, and I know how that like can slowly build up. I felt like Silent Night, Deadly Night was definitely a lot more realistic than Christmas Evil.
Yes. I would agree with you. And I mean, I won't lie to you, like, some of those levels of strength that he exhibits, there's nothing you haven't seen in a normal slasher movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, like, no, I know he picks up your one and he shoves her onto the antlers and stuff like that, but I mean, your one probably weighs like a $109 tops. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could probably pick her up and shove her onto antlers if I had two functioning knees. Do you know what I mean? Now I'll fall like a big sack of fucking spuds and just cry on the floor.
Kind of borderline, like I said, when he picked old boy up by the string of lights, that was more of like a fucking Michael Myers.
Yeah, but that would have been the vibe they were going for. You know what I mean? They were going for a
Well, it was a product of the time too, being 84. So
right. I just felt like you had done a really good job realistically building this person's breaking point, building this character, and what have you. And then all of a sudden it's like, let me kill you with my pinky. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then we go back to what was a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, look, if you take Halloween, like the original Halloween, for example, it wasn't crazy that he lifted your man up and I mean, it was to a certain degree, but Michael Myers was this big, massive, dominating force. And I mean, while Santa Billy isn't like 6.5 feet or 7 feet tall or whatever, he doesn't look like a skinny rake of a dude. Right. Do you know what I mean? He looks like he looks like a fucking farm boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been fucking lifting bales of hay since I was 5. You know what I mean? Those farm boys got farm. What's it called? Country strong. He's country strong. That's what it is. There you go.
Right. And I guess that was the other thing, because the shopkeeper was like, dude, I'm not hiring. Like, he had some vision of like 18-year-olds being like me, like 4'9", and he could start Monday. I was like, the dude's not that big, bro. Like, that's
weird thing. I don't know what it was like in America, but I'm sure Giz can testify to this. Average height normally, like when I was younger, I'm literally 6 foot on the money. Do you know what I mean? And when I was younger, I was pretty tall in our group of friends, height wise. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was Oz and stuff like that. It was a fucking giant. Do you know what I mean? But like,
well, I'm always shorter than everyone, so I never.
You get what I'm saying, though? Is in like six foot used to be kind of unusually high in Ireland, and then it got to like fucking the 2000s, and I don't know, is it putting steroids in the fucking water or anything? Like, I used to work at like those teenage Energizer discos and stuff, doing security / doing the photography for the event, depending on what the night was. There was kids in there at 15, and I remember trying to throw this kid out. He's like 6'2", rugby playing, like, and I'm like, Jesus fuck, what are they fucking feeding you, man? He's 6'2". I can fucking wrestle and I can fucking lift, and I was like, fucking hell, you fucking tree trunk of a fuck, get out of it, you know. But like, he was fucking like proper, like, what are they feeding these rugby playing fucks over here at the age of fucking 12 or something? They're monsters now. So I think it might be a product of the time that, like, just back then was just like, he's a big lad for the 80s, you know, unless you got fucking Hulk Hogan, obviously.
You know, right. And I've always been the shortest person in the room, so like, I've always kind of gauged, like, okay, so like, that's that age bracket, what have you. So when the kid turned around, I was like, you can start Monday. Really? Like, that's average here, like, whatever.
Although in saying that, he's able to lift a grown man up by one hand, so I mean, starting Monday wasn't the worst decision to have made, if you know what I mean.
I will say, I felt bad for the shopkeeper, because he obviously took an interest in the kid, you know, unlike the, I guess, back store manager. Dude, I'm cutting you a fucking break. I'm looking out for you. The store manager definitely, like, kind of took a liking to the kid. So I felt bad when the kid finally fucking offed him.
Because he did his job and gave him no lip.
Right, you know.
And could lift.
Billy's no lippy fuck. Bro. Me no lippy fuck. Billy no lippy fuck. It's okay. Billy lifty fuck, no lippy fuck.
I did feel bad for a few of the kills where I was like, you didn't deserve this, you poor bastard. All right, cool.
Everybody does.
But that also, to me, like, added to the realism, because nobody really deserved it, but everybody fucking got some.
Everybody was naughty.
Yep.
According to Billy. Naughty.
And if you think about it, at the end, that's a room full of children that are about to become
and that little girl got like a box cutter with blood all over it. That was kind of
because she had been nice all year.
That's what happens when you're nice.
Yeah, weaponry.
That might be what Santa Giz would maybe give you. Here you go. Here's a box cutter that they used to kill
You know, a conversation was had while somebody screamed, "You can't give children weaponry in films." Yet, in both of these movies, I've seen children holding knives very, very responsibly.
Okay,
and it was the 80s.
Yeah, thanks,
right.
Buzz. I'm so glad that you're the. I'm glad it wasn't me having to. Thank you.
The 80s were bad. That is not how you parent in the 80s. And what do you?
Here's the
80s is not bad. You wash your mouth out with.
Here's the long and the short of that argument here, Giz. Without revealing anything that's going to be coming up over the Christmas, we're not giving Buzz's child a fucking knife. Period. Done.
Like the point is, Coke was good then, so we made a lot of decisions.
It's still good now. It's just.
Oh no, dude! 80s Coke. Hey, look, I've only heard the myths of 80s Coke, but from what the documentaries I saw, look, let's call. Oh right, sorry.
Classic,
right, me too. That's also what I was talking about. Zang.
But while that's Coke becomes Aaron, so.
Is it trailer time?
I will say,
I'm actually slightly ashamed of how Coca-Cola didn't even cross my fucking mind in that conversation. I won't lie to you. Out of the two Cokes that the 80s is renowned for, it's not the fizzy one. Like, let's be straight. Like, it's not the fizzy Coke that the 80s is renowned for. Someone wrote an entire book.
If I could give the world a Coke,
the best old Coke it'd be. Who's this friend beside you? His name's my Brazilian bud. Man, well, I can't think of a Brazilian name.
Oh, we've gone places again.
We never said there were places you would want to go.
Thank you, Coke. Cola.
Damn straight. Thank you, Coke. Anyway, we hit the trailer for Silent Night, Deadly Night, and then we're going to be back with one none of us I'd seen before this, I don't believe, and I don't know how it's been under my radar for nearly a decade. I would have thought I would have come across it by now. But fuck me, it's fun. I'll put it that way. It's fun. It's not the most coherent storyline ever known to man, but fuck, it's supposed to be a grindhouse movie, kids, and it's not supposed to be. It's kind of in style with what it's supposed to do. Oh, good God. Down, belly. We'll be back in a moment.
Was the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
And we are back. That was the trailer for Silent Night, Deadly Night, as you probably gathered, because they said Silent Night, Deadly Night several times during the trailer. And we've been talking about it previously for a good 30 minutes.
It's the 80s that
right,
happens.
Next up from 2011, as I said, it's done in the style of Grindhouse, and I have to say, it's done very well in the style of Grindhouse. Like the look of it, the kind of the shots they chose to use and the camera angles, even some of the bad acting. I'd swear to God that they were kind of like, we could get a better actor, but is it Grindhouse? It's a Cadaver Christmas, which there aren't enough zombie movies based at Christmas time, in my opinion. And A Cadaver Christmas is definitely on my list because fuck me, I love some Z's at Christmas time. Although they're technically not zombies, they're cadavers, as we've established. They're cadavers.
Corpses. Oh, yeah, cadavers.
I will
establish that, like,
and I like the fact that we argue about that throughout the whole fucking movie. Zombie, not zombie. Like, it just, there was so many fucking pearls in this fucking movie, dude.
Anyway.
Funny. I know I lost this conversation. That's not true. And Giz is kind of like, whatever. I felt like there were a lot of fucking pearls to this film.
I don't think Giz thought there was no pearls. This Buzz is the one that was, this movie can go get fucked, as far as I'm concerned.
Giz was kind of on the fence about it. Like,
I could understand why people would like it, and there was bits of it that I enjoyed, but I can also understand why people would be kind of like, why am I watching this?
So it's 50. You and me both
in my contract.
If you guys don't super mind, I might do a quick overall synopsis because we have been running a little bit long, and I think I can just do one of my because we haven't done one in a while, one of my patented Johnny Deadly catch-ups. Okay, cool. So the movie opens up where we have a janitor coming into a bar. He's covered in fucking blood. There's a kind of an entertaining bar scene between the two bar guys. Turns out that there's a load of zombies following him, or as we've established, they're not zombies, they're cadavers, following him to this bar. Then a cop shows up who, contrary to the fact that he's had to fight his way through the bunch of zombies that are in the courtyard and is also covered in blood, won't believe the guy that there's a bunch of zombies in the school that he works in as a janitor. Cut back to the fact that there's a load of arguing going on. They get to the school because the cop is like, I need to solve this case specifically. And the janitor is like, would you not call some backup? I will not call for backup. I am going to solve this case myself. Also, as a side note, the cop has a guy who likes fucking sheep as a perp tied up in the back of the car, just to let you know. It's not a major thing. Yeah. So anyway, we get to the school or college or whatever. And it turns out that, there's a fuckload of zombies in the school. The reason the cops weren't there already is that our janitor, who is only cadavers. Sorry, you're correct. Cadavers. There's a load of cadavers up and walking about in the school. And we established through a little flashback that our janitor has tried ringing the cops, but due to the fact that kids be pranking, the line that you ring the cops just puts you through to the front desk security of the college, at which point they assess is the issue worth a while calling the real cops about, which I'm assuming this is kind of also telling a story in itself as to what kind of year and date this is supposed to be set in, due to the fact that nobody has a mobile phone or anything like that he can just call the cops himself. Smart storytelling. Yes, that's probably where the smart storytelling stops with this, but the fun kicks off. So anyway, the cop...
No, like it still goes. So, it still goes.
Anyway, the cop isn't a big fan of the janitor. The janitor is your atypical badass son of a bitch from any Grindhouse style movie. He's the typical hero. I'm kind of quiet. I'm kind of an anti-hero, but goddamn, I'm outspoken. Fuck the law. I'm going to handle things. You get some really nice moments of him. Like literally, I when I was watching the movie, I saw him as. When you see him getting geared up when they get back to the school, I was like, oh my God, he's like the Casey Jones of sanitation. If you know Casey Jones from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he's the Casey Jones of sanitation. He just doesn't wear a hockey mask and he rocks some mops instead. But goddamn, he can wield that mop good. The girl who he's been speaking to at the front desk ends up coming in because there's just alarms going off all over the school and stuff like that. They're trying to find this one mysterious scientist who works at the school who was working with a load of cadavers. Do you think he has something to do with this? Probably. Zombies keep rocking on. People get murdered. And that's a Cadaver Christmas. It's all very Christmassy themed. And some of the characters are quite lovable and things like that. But yeah, look, it's a wacky Grindhouse style of thing. I don't want to super get into the plot because I feel... Well, that's enough of a plot synopsis. There's cadavers up and about. And these guys need to go resolve the issue. Because if the cadavers get out and about, people are going to get cadavered. Obviously.
Right. like any zompocalypse, if that one gets out, that's the fear. If it breaks out of the college,
there's one out, there's more.
The world's fucked up.
Like that's a cadaver apocalypse or zompocalypse. That's a written rule of undead people walking around the place. If one gets out, there's going to be more. Plain and fucking simple. Because people will walk to what is obviously a fucking cadaver. I don't know why. Oh my god, that guy looks hurt. Yeah, because he looks like he's fucking dead, motherfucker, and he's still walking. Walk the fuck away.
Right.
Jesus Christ, have you not what? Like, I mean, this is the fucking 80s. Night of the Living Dead's been out. Fucking cop on. That's all I'm going to say. Cop on. Cop on. The janitor had the right idea. The janitor. This is what I love about. This is what I love about the janitor in this movie. Is there was no kind of, oh my god, are you okay? What's going on? Oh my god, I think they're cadavers. He was just like, oh fuck, they're dead people. Stabby, 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 stab, stab. That's my kind of hero. Snap decisions. Get it done. They don't look alive. If they don't look alive, they shouldn't be fucking walking. That's all the analysis I need. Stabby, 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 stab, stab.
If you're gray and oozing blood from anywhere on you, you're a target.
Yep. If I ask you, are you okay? And I get, sorry, bro. I'm terribly sorry if you had a concussion. I'm terribly sorry if some kidnapper had you fucking gagged and I was unaware of it from a distance.
Look, I think at the end of the day, we can all appreciate, just an excuse for violence. But I feel Buzz is kind of sitting there just kind of going, I hated this film. I hated this film.
He did, because he already, he was like, A Cadaver Christmas, just to let you know, I hated this fucking film. That was literally the sentence that came out of his mouth.
If you're not into Grindhouse, right? And I admit, I was watching it and straight away I could see the Grindhouse effect and I was like, okay, fair enough, cool. But they kept it up the entire way through, the grainy thing.
But that's Grindhouse.
Grainy at times.
Like, that would have been, like, I won't, you can't just do, you either go full Grindhouse or you don't go full Grindhouse.
Because, like, I'm going to be the bitch calling you out. Oh, so you wanted to go Grindhouse but couldn't commit? They did. Like, and it's sold, dude. Like, I thought that...
Hang on. I thought the whole point is that, yes, okay, it's grainy, but it's not grainy all the time.
No,
it goes in and out. No. I actually straight up thought at one point that they were going to do what they did in, the good one about zombies that fucking Tarantino did.
Planet Terror. Tarantino didn't do that, by the way. It was Robert Rodriguez did that one. Yeah, Planet Terror.
Anyway, my point is, I thought for a minute they were going to do the same shtick whereby the reel cuts out. They didn't done. They only waved it in and back out. And I thought that was good. I can appreciate that happening. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been doing it the whole time, but isn't the whole point of it that sometimes you will get stuff that's not grainy because it's actually those little bits that are actually come out proper, and that way it puts more context when it does go grainy so that you notice it again. Otherwise, it's just like, I'm seeing the entire film through a fucking hazy lens.
But for me, I thought that it didn't seem like every scene was hazy.
None of it was hazy. It was just grainy, like in color coding. Like the thing with Grindhouse is that while it has become an aesthetic look in cinema. Sorry, I'm going to get full fucking editor here for a minute. While it's become an aesthetic look in cinema now, you are trying to emulate the way movies looked back in the drive-thrus in the 1950s and stuff with the fucking B horror movies, where that was just the quality of camera. They were shooting everything on Super 8.
But I
I know. But I'm saying, I would have been more pissed off if it was just in it for one scene, because I'm like, look, as I said at the start, if you're going to go Grindhouse, go fucking Grindhouse, or don't.
Right.
I'm not on about having it just in for one scene. I'm having it being a continuous thing that comes in and out, along with the other bit. Like I said, when it went with the film and it didn't judder out, it just kind of went in and out for a minute. I thought that was very good because
the film reel things that were supposed to happen in the Planet Terror and Death Proof movies were, do you remember Machete? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm on about...
So when the film reel cut in and then it came out and there was a clip missing, normally that would happen if there was a reel missing in the movie, and then they would just put in an advert to fill the fucking 5-minute blank, and then they fucking swap to the next reel of the movie back in the 1950s. But I can't do, the reason it cut out was what was supposed to be in that movie was the Rob Zombie advert for what was the one that Rob Zombie was going to do as part of that whole thing? The werewolf women of the SS, Werewolf Women of the
Rose.
SS.
Well, yeah.
That advert was supposed to come in, but that movie wasn't going to happen, so they left the advert out and they just kept it as an outtake, kind of thing. That was what was supposed to go on. But I think if you're going to do a grindhouse style thing, they've done this correctly, because it actually, like, if you're going to pick a look, that look should be there throughout the movie. Like the wobbly footage that happened occasionally, I don't think that should be there the whole time, which it wasn't. It was only momentary bits, but like the actual aesthetic, it takes you out of it. Like, it's actually one of the things that bugs me about it, a lot of the indie cinema stuff, when they use grindhouse to cover up the fact that the shot doesn't look good. And it's like, no, you either make the whole movie look like a grindhouse movie, or you don't make any of it look like a grindhouse movie, unless you're having like an advert or something pop in that's supposed to be a separate entity itself. Because you're emulating an...
Fair enough, but that's not the reason that I was saying
in this,
doing it.
they're emulating an era of cinema, and you feel like you're watching a 1950s, albeit like you can tell it's a better quality camera underneath the filters. It gives you a proper grindhouse feel, in my opinion. I think if you have that filter off at any point during the movie, it takes you out of it, in my opinion. You feel like you're in for something start to finish with this, I think. Whew, sorry.
Fair enough.
Okay, I can go back to being wacky now. Sorry.
And, like,
Ryan
I don't have Deadly's eye when it comes to like editing and all that. I thought they actually did pull off that look.
Yeah, they did. I agree.
Let me also say that the only reason that I fucking spoke up and said this was because Buzz was being awfully quiet for a guy that said he didn't like the film. So I figure if Buzz isn't going to fucking point out any of the bad qualities that I also noticed, I fucking might as well.
I just don't have anything to say about it. It was a terrible movie.
Literally, you liked nothing.
I don't know, dude. Like there was nothing you liked about this one at all, start to finish.
No.
See, like, okay, like I can even say,
No.
heads up, okay? Like, heads up, there are post-credit scenes. I like the fucking post-credit scenes. Like,
yeah.
Like, I thought that was
good.
funny. Yeah, like, seriously, from, like, 00 to, like, hour X, there was nothing that caught your attention of anything.
I was literally watching the time, and I'm like, movie needs to hurry up and get fucking done, because I don't want to watch this anymore.
I will admit that it kind of dragged ass a little bit in the center for me. Like, I'll put it this way: say, as you can establish in a cadaver movie, people are going to fucking die and people are going to turn. That's what happens when cadavers are walking around the place. I do feel, and we were discussing this off camera, where kind of what's the best way of putting it? The incubation period for the virus that's going on, that's making cadavers walk around the place.
That is the argument for the whole fucking movie.
What?
That's it.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is you could have solved a lot of this storyline pacing that they had in the middle. There was a lot of just walking around the halls, nothing happening until they ran into a cadaver, if you get me. So say when the big guy got bit, if there was a little more play on his kind of slowly turning cadaver, and then there was a bit more play on the girl when she got bitten turning cadaver, instead of it all being, oh, here's a cadaver, she's a cadaver. It was like you could have fleshed out some of the slower bits with a bit of actiony kind of stuff a little bit more in that. Like there were, I will admit, there's some pacing issues in the middle of the movie, but I thought like the comedy stylings and stuff kind of kept me happily entertained throughout.
Okay. Well, see, and that's like, I get what you're saying, but to me, those like slow moments, I was entertained because like we had the fight music, and he like hit the fucking elevator button, and like the fight music stopped. And it was that whole like, hey, bro, there's stairs over here. Shut up. Like, even then, I felt like that was perfect filler.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah, but at the same time, then there's the conversation down in the basement where it's 5 minutes of the guy talking to himself using somebody else.
Okay, but I was entertained. I thought that was the only issue I really had was the incubation period, because we had the bar owner who got bit like 20 fucking minutes ago, and then we had the security chick that is our kind of like reach to the outside world of the college. He got bit like 5:20 fucking an hour ago, and he's still not turned. Then when he finally did, he bit her, I kind of had to force myself. I'm like, well, like he's 200 plus. She's like a buck-o-five. Maybe that's like metabolism. That was really the only issue I had with the movie because everybody else kind of slowly turned, and then like she was like, "Oh fuck, we need to fill this scene,"
Well,
so she turned. That was really the.
But this is what I was saying in relation to the pacing issue. Like, say where you said about the comedy bit happening is they get into the elevator, right? So they get into the elevator, and eventually, and the music stops and everything, and they go upstairs. And I think we just lost Giz, did we? He'll be back in a moment. It'll be fine. But there's the bit where they get into the elevator, and then once they get upstairs, there's a lot of just walking through those hallways before the turning starts. And I feel if there was just a little bit more on your man turning, would have. I wouldn't call it like better usage and stuff like that. You all right? I was just about to text you to see was everything okay. It's not so much I have a better like grasp of the usage and stuff, but there was a lot of just once they got upstairs until they got to the scientist guy's office, there was a lot of just miscellaneous filler talk that really didn't have a lot of substance to it. It was just the cop and your man arguing, and I feel if they just had added a little bit more about what's his fucking name? I can't remember the bartender. If they added a little bit more about the bartender's turning, or just even just a little bit more of a comment about the bartender's turning being noticed by the guys or things like that, it would have added a little extra salt and pepper to the walk around the hallways, because you're like, okay, this guy's gonna fucking go.
And see, for me, like I really liked a lot of their banter. You know, you had the cop and the janitor constantly going back and forth, and I've got a list of their names, but I don't remember who they are. You had the guy that was constantly drinking throughout the whole fucking movie, and he was lower IQ.
Well, we don't know if he's lower IQ, essentially. We just know that he's definitely drank himself into a lower IQ that particular night.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. I just mean like everybody else is like, hey, left, right, and he's just like, oh, like whoever that guy was, I thought was fucking brilliant. I loved his fucking character. And I was like, throughout the whole movie, I'm like, I don't care if you die, fuck you, fuck her, save him. I want to see him. Like,
your man, the drinking guy's name is Tom.
Eddie.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Because like it's got like a kind of short list.
Eddie's the bartender and Tom's the bar hop or whatever you want to call him.
The drunk dude.
Yeah. Tom is the bartender and Eddie's the one that got murdered, I think. Or Eddie's the one who goes cadaver.
Okay, then it's neither one of those.
No. Tom is the drunk.
Yeah.
Eddie is the bartender.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
You explained it wrong there, Send go, Johnny.
So then, yeah, like because like I don't know, he has that like that childish kind of like, yes, the world's ending, and on a level he understands it, but then he still kind of like has that moment where he's like puppeteering the janitor of like, hey, Merry Christmas to you too. Like I loved like that dude just killed it for me. He was one of my favorite.
The thing with him,
characters.
his knowledge of what was going on in relation to the whole cadaver outbreak, he doesn't actually have a comprehension of what's going on. He just watches a lot of nature documentaries. So he was essentially just regurgitating stuff that he'd heard on TV. The actual application of it to the current situation, I don't think had eluded him completely, to be honest.
Oh, fuck no.
But yeah.
But like it seemed like a fun character, and that guy I felt like really nailed it compared to everybody else that was supposed to be serious. They're on point. This person's really fucking solid, and he's just kind of like, I'll just stand here. And like his delivery of everything, like he was my favorite character.
I think he was kind of the most he was probably the most relatable out of all of them. I personally, I would say my favorite dude was the janitor because he was just so grindhouse hero. It couldn't be. You could have slotted his character into literally any. Like, say, take the Planet Terror, for instance. Do you know what I mean? You could have replaced. What was the name of the guy? Right. The kind of the. He's fucking wicked with the knives. He's like the main hero from Planet Terror. Well, technically, your one with the gun leg is the main hero from Planet Terror, but you know what I mean. But like, you could have literally slotted the janitor into that guy's role, and it would work perfect. Do you know what I mean? It was like grindhouse to a T. Right, the two guys who liked the movie have been talking a lot. What do you guys have any kind of ups and downs you would like to?
Boo.
Okay, cool.
That's all I have to say.
I already said there's stuff that I liked, there's stuff that I didn't like.
You've gone into all of the stuff that you liked and didn't like?
There was stuff that I liked. There was stuff that I didn't like.
What sort of stuff did you like?
It's nice and violent. It's
okay.
It's
and
nice
what stuff
and
didn't you like, kids? You swear I've never asked someone for their ups and downs on a movie at the end of the.
Well, it's not that. No, hang on. When I went into it a few minutes ago, it turned into a 10-minute tirade from you about how I don't understand grindhouse cinema.
Excuse me, it was not a fucking tirade. I was just merely saying that I would have personally. You either do a look or you don't do a look. That's all I said.
So that would have been one of the things that I didn't like about it, because in my opinion, I thought that took away from it. And the pacing was slow in the middle, particularly that scene where it's Tom and the janitor downstairs. Now, I get the joke, I get it, but
like
I just felt
when
that it kind of went
there,
on.
like when we first got to the college.
No. When they're downstairs, when Tom is basically talking to himself and using somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was grand, but I feel it went on too long. And
I will agree with you on that. Actually, now that I think about it, it did kind of drag on. Because, like, what was that? He started almost singing like a Christmas carol.
Yeah, he nearly got the full way through that song.
Now, apart from that, the practical effects I thought were very good. The gore looks cool.
Yeah.
You're not expecting any kind of over-the-top fucking serious acting. So once you see the whole grindhouse start, it's kind of like, oh, this is going to be cheese on a stick, and I can just eat it up. My issue is never with grindhouse, because I appreciate the story, the way those characters are supposed to be cliched, over-the-top, done as fucking to the nose as you can. To have Tom in there as the comic relief, yet not comic relief, worked really well. Overall, it was just, in my opinion, I just thought that seeing the grindhouse filter all the time, just.
So to you, it should be broken up then, like
one or two parts only. That like
kind of like say Fight Club.
Well, no, what I mean is you get like at some point in the film for like one scene, it's perfectly clear, and then you're back to the grain again, and then at some other random scene, just for that scene, it's perfectly clear, or something else, or like I said, that single bit where the film waved in and out, that worked for the effect. It was different from the Planet Terror one where they did the cut and you explained what was supposed to be there, but it meant that we got the same effect without it being the exact same thing. So that set it apart. Like I said, the wanting it to go into normal wouldn't be like in and out. It's just like you get one scene where, they for whatever reason they managed to get this perfectly right.
So reverse what they did for a Cadaver Christmas then. Or more Planet Terror.
No, Planet Terror had the look all over it the whole time as well.
Yeah.
I was just asking because he's like, if you're going to do it, say constant. So I was asking, like, did you prefer Planet Terror style, or, hey, Cadaver Christmas would have been good with just a couple of inserts?
That's what he's saying. Planet Terror was all grindhouse look all the time.
Let me put it this way. I like Planet Terror, but I don't like Death Proof. And that's because I like the story in Planet Terror and I don't like the story in Death Proof.
That's fair enough. I think a lot of people fell on that.
And that makes sense. Like that's
I personally like Death Proof. I think it's a bit underrated. But like I think a lot of people fell on that like out of the two of them, or they're like Rodriguez knocked it out of the fucking park. And Death Proof is
I kind of like I can see where Planet Terror kind of set the bar, but I did enjoy the story, and maybe it was like more of characters and stuff like that, but I truly enjoyed Death Proof.
Yeah, I like Death Proof. I'd probably say Planet Terror is better, but I really like Death Proof. I think Kurt Russell in that was just fucking great. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I liked the little playthroughs where like the one chick was like hanging onto the hood of the car and she was like, "I'm okay." Like those cute little fucking moments. Like they all kind of, I dug all of those kind of moments. So I felt like they both kind of pulled off an equal amount of goodness. But like you said, though, a lot of people went more Planet Terror than they did Death Proof.
I think when they had Rodriguez and Tarantino, they were probably expecting Tarantino's one to be the much more over the top movie, whereas Death Proof was actually ended up being the more grounded out of the two, and fucking Planet Terror is fucking just mental, but it's good mental. Okay, I suppose we'll hit the. Yeah, go on.
For a 2011 film, this has now made my Christmas list. Like, I'll be watching this bitch up there with like a Christmas horror
Me
story.
too. I really liked it. Right, we're going to we'll be back in a couple of minutes to say our goodbyes and stuff like that, and then we're going to, for the moment, hit the trailer for A Cadaver Christmas, because you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
It's Christmas Eve. Why are you...
I'm the janitor over at the university. That big rain just before Christmas break left all the buildings completely trashed. Damn kids. Too stupid to use the sidewalks. They can all go to hell for I care. People like that just make me sick.
What's with the blood?
So I just finished the science building. Something didn't seem quite right.
This isn't natural, and it sure as hell ain't legal.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Trying to save your life.
We are not gonna stay here and be eaten by zombies!
Cadavers!
Okay, FYI, this could be dangerous, so let's all just stick together, huh?
And we're back. That's the... I might as well put the wave back on there. That was the trailer for Cadaver Christmas. Look, it's not to everybody's taste, but if you like a good old splash of Grindhouse in your Christmas, because I can't think of many Christmassy Grindhouse movies. That's why I was like super happy when I saw it. I was like, hello! Hello! Instant win!
Dude, it's like, because
when you had said that
11, I was seriously fucking upset that
I don't know how I missed it. What were you saying, did you?
When you said that it had made it onto the Christmas list, I hadn't watched it yet, and as soon as I put it on, I just automatically saw the Grindhouse thing and went, this is why it's made it onto
I can't get enough of Grindhouse. I don't know why people moved away from it. It was a fantastic look.
And I can't say that I'm a Grindhouse fan. I've seen a Cadaver Christmas, Planet Terror, and Death Proof. Like, that's the closest to Grindhouse that I've gotten. I don't know anything else that I've seen that would be
Watch
like
Werewolves on Wheels.
Grindhouse. Okay,
Watch it's a bunch of bikers who get turned into werewolves by a cult, and then the entire biker gang of werewolves go hunting the cult down, and then there's a culty biker werewolf fight at the end, and it's fucking impeccable. Yeah.
No shit.
And every 5 minutes you'd be like, I know that line.
Yeah,
it's in Rob Zombie's song.
It's literally one of Rob Zombie's favorite and mine actually. Although I was, in my defense, I came to my conclusions that it's one of my favorite Grindhouse movies, and then Giz started pointing out, going, all those lines are like in every Rob Zombie song, and I was like, yes, now that you mention it, yes. But when I say now that you mentioned Rob Zombie, like currently, you all saw when we were doing the DayZ stream, like the wallpaper that's going on in the living room, like our living room is in the middle of getting like it's going to look like Rob Zombie's living room. There's going to be all these framed fucking like vintage Grindhouse posters up on the wall and stuff, and we got really fucking funky wallpaper. We're gonna get some skulls up in that bitch. It's like myself and my lovely lady love fucking Grindhouse movies. It's royal blue and gold, but yes. Whoa, fuck. Okay. Oh. Oh yeah.
Cracked your knee, didn't you?
Yeah. You know, I'm a fucking editor. That the first thing I went is, computer's okay. Thank God. Fuck. Fuck my knee. Okay, right.
So yeah, like I said, I've not experienced enough Grindhouse to go what is and isn't, but Jesus. I dug the shit out of this one. It, to me, it's not as good. I'm not saying like it's Planet Terror and Death Proof, but it made I'm gonna be watching this bitch like every Christmas now. Out there with like a fucking Christmas horror story, rare exports.
Yeah, it's on my Christmas watch list from now on, with the 2 Christmas Chronicle movies, because they're both fucking good. If anyone hasn't seen the second one.
Hey. Because I dig the shit out of Kurt Russell,
dude. It's really good.
Got around to the first one.
It's actually I am as categorically as the advert you will see in a moment, as is humanly possible. I don't like fucking Christmas, which is why I've decided to review a load of Christmas horror movies, because I fucking like horror. I won't lie to you, the Christmas horror. It sounds weird, but it does. It's the back door to getting me into the festive spirit, because I'm seeing all the murder and all of the pestilence and destruction that I like seeing, but I'm slowly getting drip fed. There is Christmas in all of them, and eventually, after 14 murders in a Santa suit, I'll probably get into Christmas cheer.
Okay. Thank you, because like now I don't feel like the fucking asshole in the room, because I'm like,
no, Christmas can go.
Murder.
Mate,
okay,
dude. Like, I know you need to go back and watch like literally every Christmas promo that we've ever shot for the GoreCast ever. I fucking hate Christmas. It's not a fucking act I do. I don't like Christmas. I don't even say bah humbug. You can go get fucking fucked as far as I'm concerned. Don't give a shit. It should be Halloween 2, in my opinion.
See, and like, what was it, Kurt Russell?
I'm down with Yuletide. I'll put it that way. Yuletide doesn't bother me. It's Christmas I have a fucking issue with.
Right, but you've got Christmas. You've got Kurt Russell 1 and 2.
It's Christmas Chronicles. So it is essentially a kids movie, but it's imagine, Kurt Russell. Imagine Snake Plissken, but he's Santa Claus.
But I was kind of curious about those, and Mel Gibson just dropped one called Fat Man, and that's some kid putting a hit out on Santa. Sadly, that's
okay. I might actually give that a go. That sounds interesting. Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2 are inherently kids' Christmas movies, but Kurt Russell is a fucking seriously badass Santa, and I won't get into it any more than that. Okay. But he's a proper do you know what I mean? He's the nice mix between you've seen A Christmas Horror Story, obviously, haven't you? Yeah, he's the nice mix between your standard Santa and the Christmas Horror Story Santa. He's a total kids, Tim Allen Christmas horror movie thing, but he does certain things throughout where you're like, oh, I could totally see him punching a fucking polar bear unconscious and then going about his day, if you know what I mean.
And see, for me, it was those two, because I turned on Netflix and all of a sudden there's a sequel, and I'm like, okay, but I really did Kurt Russell. I should probably I need to get around to it. And then all of a sudden, like Mel Gibson has hey, he didn't get the kid the right gift, so like the kid put an assassin out on Santa.
Watch all three of them.
Oh,
watch all three of them.
Okay.
If you'd ever told me Kurt Russell would make as good a Santa Claus as he did, I'd have told you you're fucking mental. But he's a very entertaining Santa Claus.
So I'm hoping to kind of find the mood to go, okay, Christmas Chronicles, here we go. Because
you can wait till next year if you want. We'll probably do the two Christmas Chronicles for the Christmas Eve episode next year, or three, because there might be a third one out by next year.
I just myself, I have trouble getting on board for Christmas, So when we do horror, okay, it's horror that happens in Christmas. Fuck it. I'm okay in that.
Don't get me wrong. I used to like Christmas, but there was a load of stuff that I associated with Christmas, which is gone away now. Is the best way of putting it. And it just kind of dropped the festive mood for me. Anyway, regardless of me being a Grinch, I need to get rid of this. There we go. Anyway, thanks for joining us this week on the GoreCast. Buzz, myself, and Giz are going to be on Sunday night, where we're going to have some fucking entertaining screeners for you. And I think we were going to talk about Freaky. Did you mention that? Yeah, not a Christmas movie, but it came out around December. So we'll... Freaky.
Freaky?
Vince Vaughn and it's Freaky Friday, except Vince Vaughn is a serial killer.
Yes, that actually.
So we're gonna. I have two cool screeners in. Ordinarily we would do, as we're going to let you know the advert now. Actually, that's the easiest way of doing it. So that's what we're going to have on the podcast this Sunday over on American Horrors, as is usual on a Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. CST, and whatever that equates to is GMTs. Myself and Buzz are going to, myself and Buzz and Giz will be on American Horrors, where we will be interviewing Chris J. Miller, who's like a mad scientist of horror, who's done some really, goddamn, they'll affect your brain, those kind of horror movies, which is one of the reasons that we're doing some screeners and not Christmas themed movies, because we can't obviously stream any of his movies. Yeah, well, we can't link them together, number one, and number two, well, the whole Christmas theme is the fact that we don't, you and I don't usually do interviews, so it's like a little festive treat. And it was, I won't lie to you, it was a fun conversation. We barely got to talk about the movies that he did that I wanted to talk about, but it was a fun conversation where we rip into PC culture, have a good old chat about some politics and some of the crazy movies that he's done over the years, and his upcoming movie, Utopia Means Nowhere, which everything that I've said now kind of negates the point of playing the promo, but I'm probably going to play the promo anyway. So... Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button there. Whoops. Yeah. I forgot I wasn't in studio mode is what happened, and I ended up the video that I had queued up, I ended up not queuing up and just clicking onto instead. So we're just resolving that issue very quickly now. So that's us with the Sunday stuff. Buzz and Carter are going to be back this Tuesday, where they're going to be reviewing Mother Krampus 1. Is it sequel and... Yeah, it's another original versus sequel, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mother Krampus 2016, 2017.
Yeah. Buzz's general reaction this week is probably
not be fucking happy.
Yeah, I hope he's chattier about them on Tuesday than he was about. Yeah.
This is my happy face.
You're happy? No. Buzz, your happy face was a Cadaver Christmas.
I fucking hate Cadaver Christmas.
Right, but you're gonna love it after Krampus 1 and 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've seen Miss
1 and 2.
If that's the case, then
I've seen Mrs. Krampus, and I won't lie to you, a Cadaver Christmas is literally Oscar worthy.
Same here.
Oscar worthy.
Oh, dude,
I
was given an award.
I will be heavily intoxicated.
I'm just saying, dude, it's not a lie. A Cadaver Christmas is
a Cadaver Christmas is when Santa Claus shits under your tree.
Yeah, it's still fucking Hollywood compared to Miss Krampus. One ant.
One moment now. Let me make sure we're still live. Yeah, okay, we're back. Yeah, sorry about that slight break in the stream there. It was my internet actually whole went out because my phone disconnected from the internet as well. It wasn't just a weird Skype conversation. Yeah, so they're going to be reviewing. Well, Buzz is going to be hating life on Tuesday as he reviews Mother Krampus 1 and 2. Then on Thursday next week we have what's up Thursday?
Thursday is the 17th. So Jack Frost P2 Sleigh Bells.
Oh yes, there you go. Sleigh Bells is a whole fuckload of fun. I haven't seen P2. I don't think.
I dug it. It wasn't bad.
Cool.
So
cool. And anyway, other than that, we're going to leave you with the trailer. As I said, we're going to be on American Horrors as usual this Sunday, and myself and Giz will be back here, same GoreCast time, same GoreCast channel. So we're going to, from everybody for the show tonight, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you later on. Toodle fucking oo, bitches.
Bye.
What the fuck are you doing? Ah, what? You look like biker Santa.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
It's not Christmas, it's fucking December.
Yeah, the 30 days of Christmas.
It's the 12 days of Christmas.
Are you sure?
Nearly 100% sure. I'm not singing it for you. Although, even though I'm categorically a humbugging son of a bitch, join myself and Giz this Sunday where we have a Christmas treat for you as we do a slight change of pace where we have Chris J. Miller, the mad scientist of horror, on, where we're going to be talking about PC culture, politics, his upcoming movie Utopia Means Nowhere, and a whole lot more this Sunday, 8:30 p.m. CST, and whatever that equates to as GMTs, only on American Horrors. Take that hat off. You look like a fucking idiot. Fuck you. Don't forget, if you enjoy our Madcap GoreCast horror hijinks, we stream 3 nights a week over on YouTube, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays, where you can see a little bit of this. Turd spoon, god damn, I knew there was something I wanted to bring up in the... God damn, I don't know what a fucking turd spoon is, but I'm mad to...
Yeah, it's pretty in-depth.
Most definitely some of this.
With a new 2009 twist. She pulls out of her vagina.
I'll give it to her though, because like, you know how like magicians kind of like do something and they pause dramatically? She took that dramatic pause.
And occasionally some of this.
Our favorite Halloween movies.
What's up, GoreCasters? Welcome back here to the GoreCast. Yeah, okay, I'm here. I'm back.